guys? Welcome back to another episode of Breakfast with the Boys. It is Wednesday morning. It is March the 3rd, guys. You know, it's almost been a year since this crazy coronavirus stuff started. 2 weeks to flatten the curve. We're still sitting here. It's a weird time to be alive. But again, we have Jack Gotzel and we got Jay Guacamole. And Breakfast with the Boys is back, and it's another pretty packed week of news, man. It seems like, you know, even though the world's shut down, crazy shit starts happening right off the hop this week, boys. Mr. Potato Head, no longer Mr. Potato Head. And we're talking Mr. Potato Head, which they had Mrs. Potato Head. Now, my question is, what does the gender of a fucking toy potato have to do with anything? Can anybody help me out with that here?
It's literally like a marketing thing. Like Mr. Potato Head sounds funny. That's why you call it Mr. Potato Head, because you're giving a title to a potato.
Yes.
It's no deeper than that.
But do you not remember being a kid at school and sometimes all the pieces would get mixed together and you'd have a Mr. Potato Head with the Miss Potato Head lips and stuff?
Yep.
Hasn't he always been gender neutral? What are these people doing?
Legitimately.
It's all pointless. I mean, what's going to happen next? Is Toy Story going to be canceled? There's Mr. Potato Head and Miss Potato Head. This is going to be this. So that's going to be rated R now going forward. Children won't be able to watch that.
No, and
They just cancel everything.
Yeah, the funny thing is in the Toy Story movie, he says, "That's Mr. Potato Head to you, pal." It's like he told you he was Mr. Potato Head. He identified his gender. You people are misgendering. The cancel culture people, which we're going to get into that in a second, are misgendering Mr. Potato Head. That's how I feel about it. I think that's the big headline. I think everybody's got it wrong. I think by him saying that's Mr. Potato Head to you in the movie back then, they are now misgendering him as a man, and I'm offended by that as a man.
It's going to be it's Potato Head to you now.
Yeah.
Is Mrs. Potato Head canceled too, or is it just Mr. Potato Head?
No, I think it just has to be
Both.
a genderless potato is what
it's
I'm
strictly
thinking,
just a potato now.
Mr. Potato Head wasn't the only children's victim of cancel culture. Dr. Seuss has 6 books pulled for racist imagery. Listen, I'm so sick of these cancel people. I don't even look anymore. I just assume they're wrong because all they do is yell, yell, yell. I don't know, they might be for the times and whatever, now, I mean, Dr. Seuss was making those books back in the day, right? Certainly race relations compared to how they are now is different, but can't you just put a little disclaimer on the inside? This was a different time.
They should. It's
just
history
put it
at that
almost
point.
Man, at what point are you altering the way things used to be? And I think that's a dangerous slope, no?
Yeah, my 2 cents there is, it was definitely a different time back then when he made the books, but I never ever put Dr. Seuss and racism in one category. I didn't really put indulge too much into this topic because, I just think it's bullshit right off the bat.
How did they even stumble upon it? Was someone reading a Dr. Seuss book and just looking for racism? How do you all of a sudden today decide that Dr. Seuss is racist?
How long was it itching with someone that they were like, I can't fucking believe that this is a Mr. Potato Head. I have to revolt. How long do you think they were itching with that one?
Dude, who's making these decisions? At Hasbro, who's sitting there going, yeah, you know what would be a great idea? And then I saw they're not changing the gender anymore, actually. They're still going to have a Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. But, the damage is done. What are you guys doing? What a bunch of jagaloons. This cancel culture has gone too far. I understood the Harvey Weinstein stuff. That's terrible. Yep. I understand, it's good that Jeffrey Epstein got arrested. Probably bad that he killed himself so he couldn't rat out all the other animals out there. But once they started, they got the power from the Me Too thing, the cancel people, I think they just started getting drunk with power. And then all of a sudden, we're all the way down to a potato and a Dr. Seuss book, which tells me they're slowly starting to run out of things to cancel. So
now, I might be a little behind the times, but is Huckleberry Finn still a relevant book in schools?
Yeah, I think so. I think they have to.
So how is that not canceled yet?
I know. I mean,
what the fuck?
I know. And like, my niece asked if I'd ever read To Kill a Mockingbird before. And I was like, yeah, we had to kill that.
That's another one.
Like, we had to read that. And I guess she has to read that. But then her school project is on racism or whatever, right? Like, she has to write an essay on it and like how it compares to now to then. And like, certainly, yeah, it is different now, but you can't just erase history. That's not how it works with the Dr. Seuss books. Like, those cancel culture people, get a fucking job. You guys drive me nuts. Another guy who drives me nuts, and another guy I love, we're going to turn to here, boys. Did you see Zlatan Ibrahimovic came out and said LeBron James should stick to playing sports and not being woke and speaking out about politics? So then you get LeBron James who comes out and says, oh, I'm not going to not use my platform for this. I'm always going to call out social justice. Yes, the same LeBron James who makes millions and millions and millions of dollars off of sweatshop labor in China for Nike. Yes, that same one who won't talk about the people in Hong Kong and all the hardship and social justice infractions they've had to deal with. That LeBron James will not stop. Zlatan doubles down again and says politics bring people apart. Sports are supposed to bring people together. Leave the politics for the politicians. Are you team Zlatan or are you team LeBron? Because I'll tell you, you guys can already tell. I'm team Zlatan all the way. LeBron James, shut the fuck up.
Yep. Yeah, I'm 100%. Oh, you go first.
My take is, I mean, I can see it both sides. I'm more towards Zlatan. I want LeBron to have an opinion, but at the moment, while he's still in sports full time, I want him to focus on that. I want him to bring it together. And then when y'all said and done, then kind of lead into the politics. Another person that I think is kind of like that is Charles Barkley. He's kind of said the same thing with Kyrie, just speaking out on certain things. Just say, hey, stop what you're doing. Just play basketball, let everyone unite, and then do it.
And it's like, I wouldn't care if he called it out 360 degrees. My problem is it's like social justice, sweatshops in China, Hong Kong stopped, like, because the NBA, everybody knows where the money's coming from there.
That's exactly true. They pick and choose what they decide to like be upfront about, and they decide and choose what they don't want to talk about.
Yeah, and that's what the problem is. It's like, I don't want to go into this too deep because this is a fun podcast, but like sometimes you just want to watch the guy. I don't ever like saying just dribble, man. Like, I don't expect people to do that. You should put your opinion out there. But like, certainly LeBron James isn't on the moral panel. And I feel like he always injects himself into every single situation. It's like, pick your spots, man. It starts to sound like a broken record. And Zlatan knows what he's talking about. He doesn't give a shit about nobody. And if LeBron James ever got in Zlatan's face, he would get dropped too. Zlatan is like a black belt, which is funny, man. He don't need no security. Speaking of security, we have an issue here with Tekashi 6ix9ine. Apparently, he gets out of jail. From then, back in 2018, right before he went in, he hired a private security firm, racked up $75K in security charges, and now isn't paying it. He's being sued. We talked about this last week. Remember the Meek Mill and Tekashi 6ix9ine fight over the Instagram and all the security guards in the middle? First off, this kid had to drive around in armored cars. That's pretty messed up, like thinking he was going to get shot. But secondly, like, isn't this kid worth a lot of money? Like $75,000, bro. You always talk about being a millionaire and shit. Shouldn't that just not be that much and pay the tab?
I've always wondered that with these, famous rich rappers, like whenever they have those outstanding bills, like how the fuck does that happen? It's like that's like me just buying a soda at the store. It's nothing.
Yeah, that's the truth. And it's funny because those guys were in the video like a week ago, and it turns out they're not even getting paid. It's just hysterical. Like these guys, like do they not have like financial managers? Because he obviously has made enough money to have that security.
Yeah, certainly he should have made enough money to have that security, man. Like $75,000, he should be able to wipe his ass with that, with the hits that he has and like the influence that he has.
How the hell did he even become famous? Like all of a sudden one day Tekashi 6ix9ine just had this crazy song, then he goes to jail, then he rats everyone out, then all this happens.
Yeah, man. It's like I think it's the tattoos on the face. I think he was like the first guy, one of the first guys
tattoos
to really,
the crazy hair.
I mean, yeah, it's the colored hair. It's the content too. I mean, he says really controversial things, but I mean, no one in the rap game respects him for being a rat or whatever. But I don't know. My problem with him is like, he's clearly a rat if he won't pay a $75,000 bill when he's got millions of dollars. That's something that a rat would do. Not surprised about that. One thing I was surprised to hear, T.I., T.I., kind of the same wavelength as LeBron. He's very left on his politics. I think that's great. The thing I like about T.I. is he's like a critical thinker. He always comes with facts. He's really smart and put together. He's being sued for defamation by a female he spoke out against, saying he didn't do anything to, who claims he put a gun to her head. That is some bad shit to be mixed up in if you're T.I. I mean, are you guys big T.I. guys? Do you think he'd do something like that? I don't know really enough about him other than I've never, ever one time been to the strip club in my life without the song Whatever You Like being on. You can have whatever you like.
That's the one song that popped in my head.
Yeah.
I haven't heard T.I. in forever.
Yeah, I know, but if you've ever been to the gentleman's club, you've heard that song before every time.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, would I put this past T.I.? Probably not. I mean, growing up, I always thought he was kind of gangster like that, but that's also what made you want to listen to him because he was hood, he was fun. And so I wouldn't put it past him. I don't know what actually happened. The allegations are crazy. Obviously, people are always trying to assume something happened, just try to get money. So that might have happened.
Yeah. Sometimes
didn't he write that song like Dead and Gone? Wasn't that T.I.?
Yep. Was that with Rihanna? Yeah. Might have been.
Yeah. He does have a song with Rihanna.
Apparently, the old him is not dead and gone.
No. Yeah. No, apparently he'll still put a gun at your head.
Another allegation that happened, I saw this on Twitter, was John's buddy Bryce. Someone came out and said that he cheated on Addison. I don't know if you read any of that.
No.
But then she was trying to sell the story to some popular YouTube channel that, covers all the social media. And they wanted like 10 grand. She was like, yeah, give me 10 grand and I'll give you the story first to publish. And the guy was like, no fucking way, get out of here. I saw pictures of the text. They look so fake. It wasn't even funny.
Really?
Yep.
How is everything okay there? Like, I mean, is she okay with him on his side about it? Like knowing that he ain't doing that? Cause I mean, I would like to think that he ain't stupid enough to ever do that to Addison Rae.
No, it's all fake. The kid, when I was around him, he loves her. He would never do anything like that. But, it's just crazy that, when you're that famous, anyone that you let around you can turn around and stab you in the back and just be like, yeah, this happened. If I say it's going to happen, I'm going to try to sell the story and make something out of it.
Yeah, man. And people do that. I mean, Kevin Hart, mind you, was doing a bad act. He was cheating on his wife. He shouldn't do that shit. But a guy in his own crew had set up a camera and blackmailed him with it. Like a guy that he considered to be like a brother.
It's fucked.
For money, man. Money make people do crazy things. And speaking of crazy things, Lady Gaga was in the news this week. An absolute horrific scene.
Disgusting.
Her dog walker is out walking the dogs. Two guys roll up, shoot him like 3 or 4 times, and steal the dogs. Luckily, the dog walker survived. The guy survived and is making a recovery here. But man, obviously when you got a high profile person like Lady Gaga, you have to assume that it was premeditated. Like they were trying to get her dogs for some sort of ransom. But I guess
money, yeah.
Were the dogs not returned though? I think the dogs made it back. And
I know one of them stuck by, like during the shooting. I saw the whole video, and like the dog runs over to him after it. Like awful. I think he was shot 4 times in the chest.
Jesus, man.
Why you got to go for the dogs, man?
Piece. Yeah, man. Like why be such a scumbag like that? And poor
the
guy.
Newest breakfast with the boy right here.
There he is. Yes, we got
pasta.
Happy puppy times. Sleepy puppy pasta, brand new member to the family. Look at him. How old, Jack? 3 months?
3 months tomorrow.
Look at him.
Oh,
he's a
my
fucking beaut. That's a beautiful German Shepherd. Take care of dogs. Be good to dog walkers. Ryan Fisher was just trying to do a job working for Lady Gaga, probably making tons of cash to watch those walk those dogs, and then he gets shot like that. That's a tragedy. On to some really cool stuff from the Golden Globes. I really don't like those award shows for kind of the same stuff we were talking about with the whole LeBron James and Zlatan thing, but I did see, which was awesome. Chadwick Boseman won a Golden Globe, and his wife gave a really awesome acceptance speech. I'm not sure if you guys were able to check that out, but that was really cool, and it was great to see them be able to pay tribute to such a great actor, man. And it's such a sad story. I mean, I know it's been a little bit since he passed away here, but certainly like sad, man.
Yeah, it's terrible. I saw it briefly. I saw the speech. It was very touching. It was well deserved. Chadwick Boseman was a gentleman, a scholar in just about everything he did. Rest in peace. I think we talked about him in one of the past podcasts, but just all around a great human being that, was gone too soon.
Yeah, you hate to see someone die that young. It's awful. And I mean, he touched a lot of people. He had some great movies. He played some touching roles. Definitely will be remembered for a very long time.
Yeah, man, absolutely. One of those, the Black Panther really, really cemented it. And to know that he did that movie while sick and was still doing the things he wanted to do before, like cancer's an awful thing, right? It's eventually going to get you once you got it. And the fact that he was able to accomplish as much as he did in the short time that he had on the planet, unbelievable. Shout out to him and his family, man. Love to see that and see him get honored at the Golden Globes and win one.
Yep, I'm glad he could be part of the best movie franchises of all time, Marvel.
No, we don't like Marvel movies, me and Jack. I just can't get into them, but I respect his work. I respect anybody, man. Those guys are the best. Acting is so hard. It's such a tough skill, and to be able to put your body and mind through it, I mean, the money's obviously good, so you do it, but certainly it's tough, man. And another thing that was tough was last week we were talking about Tiger Woods. He tweeted for the first time since his horrific accident, thanking the golf community for Sunday's red shirt tribute. The guys on the PGA Tour, Rory, guys like that on Sunday rocked the red Nike polo, made famous obviously by Tiger. He went on to say, "It's hard to explain how touching today was when I turned on the TV and saw all the red shirts." He said, "To every golfer and every fan, you are truly helping me get through this tough time." Now, we know Tiger Woods did have to have a couple rods put into each leg. He broke them pretty bad. They said when the EMTs got on scene, he was so full of adrenaline and whatever, he didn't even know he had snapped his legs. He didn't even know. He just thought they were pulling him out and he was going to get up and be fine. So, I mean, I don't know if we're going to ever see Tiger golf again. I don't think for majors. Mind you, he can probably do the seniors tour and shit. So I'm not going to say we're never going to see Tiger Woods on a golf course, man. But, the dream of him catching Jack is probably dead now. And then that in itself is horrible. But thank God Tiger Woods is still with us after that. He's up there. It's I might need to get him behind me for my Mount Rushmore. We got Sins, we got Tiger Woods. I mean, I don't know. I got to think of a couple more guys.
I think you got Marino up there already.
Tom Brady.
Yeah, Dan Marino or Tom Brady could easily go on that.
Alex Tuck. Biggest dick to ever play in the NHL.
That's true. It's
Speaking of big dicks, what are all the people that didn't wear red shirts? Was anyone else thinking you hope they hit it into the water every time, or is that just me?
I like to hope that some of those guys just didn't get the memo. I think golf, like a lot of sports, is kind of cliquey. So I think the big guys, the Rorys and that did it. But I don't know if just the middle of the road guys would have got the memo. Maybe instead they got the 9th at 9 trick where they go the old Shooter McGavin trick where you get them to go on the course and get sprayed with the sprinkler, right? That was one of the best ever moments. Happy Gilmore, 25 years of greatness.
Did you see that? I mean, I don't know if it was real or not, but they got the okay for Happy Gilmore 2 from both Shooter McGavin and Happy Gilmore himself. Adam Sandler?
Yeah, they were on a show together. Yeah, and they both said that they would do it. To be honest with you, I hope they don't.
I was going to say, would you want them to or would you not? I also don't want them to at all because Happy Gilmore was such a great movie, and now they're all just old. I don't want another kind of spin-off Adam Sandler grown-ups kind of thing.
You don't need to see a Dumb and Dumber 2. Like, remember Dumb and Dumber 2?
Exactly.
Like, Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to see something like that. They were too old by then, Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels. It didn't hit right. Sometimes those can be cringe. One of the few great sequel comedy movies that can really pull it off was, I thought Anchorman 2 was pretty funny. I thought that for an old character coming back, Will Ferrell did a pretty decent job.
That's a tough one to think on the spot.
And 22 Jump Street, I thought was almost as good as 21 Jump Street.
I hated both those movies.
What?
Do you have a sense of humor?
I thought the original sucked, and I thought the sequel sucked. So yeah.
What comedy movies do you like, Jack?
You're putting me on the spot here. I watched Little Nicky the other night. That's a great Adam Sandler.
Little Nicky is a hilarious Adam Sandler.
Little Nicky bangs.
Cashier, stop. He's got the fucked up face.
Spot on.
They got that on Netflix right now. It's a classic.
Stop.
On Netflix, I just watched the Biggie Smalls documentary they just released. I can't believe it took me 25 years to find out that Biggie Smalls had a lazy eye. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, for sure he did. Yeah, he was God rest his soul. But
yeah, they were doing, I guess, he had a different mind growing up where, he wanted someone to record everything because he wanted to see the crowd's reactions in the video and then play that song again for the next concert. So that's how he kept adding and adding on. But they'd do these one-on-one interviews with him and he'd be looking straight in the camera. And then all of a sudden, one of his eyes would be in Africa looking somewhere else. And I was like, what the fuck's going on?
Oh,
I mean, I get where you were going there with like geographically going the wrong way. I could see people taking that comment out of context, though, Jake Guacamole. Luckily, we're Tarps Off Sports, and that's just funny as hell. Something that isn't funny, though, boys, before we get out of here, this is a way more serious topic than that. R. Kelly in jail for being like a sexual abusing, minor abusing, fucking mental abusing scumbag fuck, has both of his COVID-19 vaccines. He got them both in jail. I'm sitting here in Canada. We're like 52nd in the world when it comes to vaccines. Your country saying you're all going to be vaccinated by May. And I'm sitting here and we've got like 36 fucking guys out of Tim Hortons that got vaccines. How the fuck do I live in a world as a man who doesn't have criminal charges, never fucking done anything, anything even close to as bad as R. Kelly? I certainly have never peed on anybody that didn't ask for it. No, I'm just joking, but I've never peed on nobody. Why don't I have my vaccines? Why in the world is R. Kelly like, did you guys get your COVID vaccines?
Nope. Oh, well, I have a good story about this. Me and Jay have a buddy that's getting got his COVID vaccine, and he's claiming that he's obese. This is a perfectly healthy kid. He's skinnier than me and Guac Jay here, and he's claiming he's got obesity and asthma, so he got his COVID vaccine. So if he's obese, then you need a truck to get me
So if I just tell the doctor I'm a fat fuck, I can get my vaccine first. I didn't.
You come to Massachusetts. That's all you need. Yeah.
Why am I not taking advantage of this? Like, look at me. I'm putting on the quarantine pounds here, guys. I should be fucking in Massachusetts. I'd be vaccinated, ready for concerts and shit. I feel like I'm never going to get the vaccine here, fucking R. Kelly. I believe I can fly right to the jail and pimp smack him. I can't stand that guy.
I just couldn't believe he said he was obese. Like, he's not obese.
It confuses me so much. I mean, A, I don't know how the fuck R. Kelly got 2 vaccines. But B, I don't understand it. When I flew back from LA, I landed, and the day I landed, my mom tested positive for COVID. So she's still dealing with the symptoms right now. But my dad stayed by her side throughout the whole thing, got tested, and he's negative. Never had a single symptom.
Man.
My nephew, who was around her around the time when she got it, he tested negative. I just don't get it. my dad's in the perfect category to get COVID too. You know, no offense to him, he's obese. You know, he has diabetes, he has heart problems.
Yeah.
He said the only two positive things that I guess are fight COVID, whereas he takes vitamin D pills. He's been doing that for 10 years because in Massachusetts you don't get enough sun. And he has O positive blood type. So how does that work out? So those two are the greatest benefactors of not getting COVID, but he checks every single other category there is.
Yeah, absolutely, man. No, it's got a mind of its own. You know, Bugsy, who works at the website here, had COVID in his house. He was a student, right? So 2 of the kids in their house or whatever test positive for COVID. Him and the other roommate, they're all sharing the same stuff, drinking out of cups, drinking out of each other's beer glasses.
Every bar in town,
every
night.
Bar together, always together, doing everything, living in the same quarters, didn't get it.
Probably because half of them already had it.
This is another venti take I want. Venti conspiracy take.
Yeah, we need venti conspiracy episodes so bad, but he just won't.
He needs a blurred image, and he needs to have a different voice. That's the only way he'll come on. It's like, we'll just.
The best part is he tells Jack that he's afraid to like say stuff because the government will find out, but like he'll still send you guys conspiracy stuff. It's like if you're already sending that, they already know who you are. Like,
regularly.
Like they know who you are if they want to, but like there's a lot bigger conspiracy fish for the government to fry than Venti. Like I'm sure they're more worried about Alex Jones.
Fact.
Well, Alex Jones is a double agent according to Venti.
He's crazy. I didn't really know too much about Alex Jones, but holy crap, what a life he's had.
The whole establishment is out to get me. Infowars.com by myself. The world. Buy my supplements and we'll stop the lizard people. He's fucking crazy, man.
Totally off topic too, you know, not on the agenda, but what do you guys think about Texas fully opening up?
Yeah, Texas governor has ordered 100% fully opening up, sporting events, whatever, full capacity, full send. Well, listen, man, if all you guys are going to be vaccinated by May, you don't need, like, the thing is that for herd immunity and for this to go away, everybody doesn't even need to be vaccinated. It's actually only like really half the people need to be vaccinated, and then you can kind of stop to worry about it. So that's at least the science as I understand it. So yeah, I mean, listen, I think that Texas is setting a good example by just opening up, to be honest. I mean, like, this thing has a, like, I know it's serious and I feel for people that have been affected, but it has a 99% survival rate.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. You know, everyone gets the option. I think my voice just cracked. Everyone gets the option that it can be fully open. Guess what? If you're not comfortable with it being fully open, you can still go out and wear your mask. You can still take the precautionary measures. Yeah. I'm all for it. I was jealous Florida's been open forever. You know, I know people that have been going to Florida mid-COVID, going to clubs, going to bars, and they're completely fine. So good for Texas. That's my take.
Yeah, me too, man.
Also, the Cowboys. The Cowboys play in Texas. I mean, God has the hole in the stadium so he can look upon his team. Of course, they're going to let people into Cowboys games. They're like a different country. They're not. I never understood that.
Why are they America's team?
Texas is a different country.
Why are they America's team if we're the Patriots? We're the New England Patriots. We are literally America's team.
Because they're so conceited in Texas. Have you ever talked to someone from Texas? They literally mention Texas in every sentence they speak.
I have a friend that went to Alabama that does the same fucking thing. He just references Roll Tide and Bama and everything.
Yeah, everything Alabama. And I'm pretty sure he has a big picture of Nick Saban on top of his bed. Yeah. Like on the ceiling, above where he sleeps.
Right when he goes to sleep. And he got a new puppy too.
That would be Crimson Tide alum Jack Gotzel loves him some Alabama. Bleeds crimson. The color of his blood is crimson. Boys, to end this though, fuck R. Kelly. How's he got his vaccine? Good on Texas for opening. Open everywhere. If you're sick and you're at risk, everyone should stay home. The rest of the people, wear your masks, do whatever. Eat your Wheaties, take your vitamins, and come back next Wednesday for Breakfast with the Boys. You can find us on Twitter at breakfast_boys. And at tarpsoftsports.com, Tarpsoft Sports on.
Check out the new logo.
Check out the new logo. It bangs.